Hi there, today I'm going to talk to you about the crow family of birds, the corvids. I didn't realize that blue jays and magpies were in the same family as crows. I thought all crows and ravens and things are all black and kind of similar looking, but apparently there's a wide variety of them, so let's tackle them one by one. Starting off with the core words, these are the ones that start with K-O-R, we have korvo, which is a crow. Now when you Esperantify a word, you usually change a hard C to a K, so that we have C becomes K, the R and O are still there, and then W's, there are no W's in Esperanto, so W's generally be turned into the letter V. So crow becomes korv. And think about Halloween. What's the spookiest bird you can think of? Well, bats are mammals, they're not birds. What else? Maybe an owl, but generally you'd probably think of a cawing crow, right? So think of a crow carves pumpkins, all right? The crows carve pumpkins. Korvo, carvo, okay? The carving. Now, I could tell you the Esperanto word for carving, but it's cheesy. That's right, folks. It's cheesy. Cheesy is to chisel and carve in that way. Skulpti is to sculpt something. And then if you're talking about carving a turkey, like for Thanksgiving, what would that word be? Well, you're not really sculpting it into a statue. You're not chiseling it like it's a piece of ivory. You're cutting it up so that everyone can have a piece. The word you'd use is distranĉi. To scatter, distranĉi, cut. So you want to cut it up to spread it out and to scatter it amongst the family members. So distranĉi is the word for carving a turkey. But in this case, with the jack-o'-lantern, you're not really sculpting it. You're more chiseling out little holes to make a face. So I would say cheesy for this. But here, we're using it in English. Crows carve pumpkins. Next up, we have korako, which is the word for a raven. Now, another acceptable way of describing a raven would be grande corvo, simply saying the big crow. And the nice thing about that is that raven has ra, korako, grande corvo. So the ra, the R-A, is very helpful. Grande corvo. Here you see korako grakas, a crow caws. And it would, wouldn't it? I mean, that is so raven. But anyway, korniko is the next word. Korniko would be a carrion crow. Korniko has an N in it. Carrion crow has an N in it. Also, another way to describe this one is nigra corvo. You might go, aren't they all black? Why would this one be, I don't know, just Latin-wise or whatever? In the dictionary, it also shows nigra corvo is another way of saying this specific type of crow, which is a carrion crow. So korniko, it also has kor in it at the beginning, so that kind of tunes you in. Oh, we're talking about some sort of crow bird. Next, we have pirokorako, which is a chough. I didn't know that was a thing until like 2 days ago when I started working on this lesson. Choughs? What is that? You don't even need to remember the English word because the Esperanto word is helpful. It contains korako in it. So you know it's some kind of raven. A little confusing though. Pirokorako? Piro is a pear, right? So does it like pears? What is this? Like the fruit? No, here when you're saying pirokorako, we're talking about piro as in the sense of pyromaniac or pyromania, fire. And they're called pirokorako because while they're black all over, like other crows and ravens, they have fire-red legs and a fire-red beak. So pirokorako is the fire raven. And if you want to remember chough, think about a fire and the smoke. You're coughing, chough, okay? Think of cough or chough that way, okay? Pirokorako. So those ones all have K-O-R in it, which is really helpful. Now we're branching out into words that don't have that, so you're going to have to work a little harder to remember these. Frugilego is the word for a rook, only in the sense, though, of the bird, not the piece in chess. There's a different word for that. So frugilego is the word for a rook. Now, technically, that means fruit gatherer, frugilego. So the sense of, I'm a frugal person, actually originated with the idea of being a fruitful or productive person. But then it became known as being someone who's efficient with what they have and doesn't spend money foolishly. So think of this. A frugal way to replace a missing rook in your chess set would be with a little Lego brick. Okay, a frugilego. That is a rook. Next, we're going to look at monedo. What is monedo? Monedo is a jackdaw. A jackdaw is the smallest of the crow family. So just think of this. Daw, he's so cute and tiny. Daw that'll help you remember the small size of the jackdaw. And then what about its personality and its habits? Jackdaws are known for the fact that they like jewelry. They like little shiny coins, and they'll often steal them from you and fly off with them. Because of that, they became known as another way of calling someone a thief or a greedy person. Oh, you're just a jackdaw in old literature. Especially someone who would steal money or keep money but not use it, because the birds would steal these shiny coins just to have them. But obviously birds don't spend money. So someone who is greedy but not even using the money is often called a jackdaw. Think of this to remember monedo as equaling jackdaw. Jackdaw, jackpot. If you win the jackpot, you get money and dough. Money, dough, monedo. That's how you remember. A jackdaw is a type of crow. Next we have pigo, which means a magpie. Fortunately, P-I-G are all contained in pigo, or magpie is part of that. So pigo is magpie. Now, I learned this very early on in my Esperanto studies, not because I ever used the word magpie, but because it was a false friend of the word pig, or for pig. And I was cautioned, now, just because kato means cat, and hundo means a hound, don't go thinking that pigo means pig, because pigo means magpie. So porco means pig. So keep those straight. Now, if you want a story that uses the word pigo to mean a magpie, look up Tim Westover's book, Mar Virin Strato, or Mermaid Street. Page 73, I believe, is where Pigo Pago begins. And that's a story about these magpies that have a little sort of bazaar of their own, little trade fair on the rooftops of the humans' marketplace, where they trade and look at and discuss all the little bits of string and coins and things that they've stolen from the humans, and they're like, ooh, look what I found today. Interesting short story called Pigo Pago in Mar Virin Strato. So that's pigo. Next is a nutcracker, which is nucifrago. I didn't know there was a bird called a nutcracker. By the way, this only refers to the bird. If you're looking for a nutcracker, especially like the little soldier-shaped nutcracker from the ballet, different word. So nutcracker bird is nucifrago. So think of it this way, a nut fragmenter. Nucifrago, nuci, nut, frago, fragmenter, someone who fragments nuts. I've never seen a nutcracker or talked about it as a bird, so you probably won't use it, but we're being thorough here. We're covering all our bases. Garolo is the word for a jay. So what is a jay? Back in the day, people would refer to ignorant, dull, boring people as jays. The only word that really survives to modern day from that is jaywalking. Being like, oh, well, you stupid jay, why are you walking there? Use the crosswalk like you ought to. So jaywalking is a term we use. A garrulous person is someone who is very talkative, but in a boring, tedious manner. So a boring person, a jay could be garrulous. So garolo is a jay. And any form of jay, you just add the descriptor. So blue jay would be blua garolo. Now blue jay is actually one word. I didn't mean to put a space there. Whereas blua garolo is two words. So don't put blue garolo as one thing. You need to separate them into two words. Another way to remember this, if you want, is think of all these birds we've talked about. Almost all of them are predominantly black or have just very monochromatic, whereas the jays are the most colorful. There's blue jays, green jays, purple jays, all different types of them. So if this was a cast of characters, the gay role would probably be the jay. All right, I'm not saying that'd be offensive, with the rainbows and all the LGBT community and all that. I'm not saying it'd be offensive, but to be memorable. To say something a little like, oh, are you trying to offend somebody? Hey, if being almost offensive or talking like that helps you keep it in your head, then I've won, okay? The important thing is that you remember these words. And let's test to see how well you did that. These are the corvids, or in Esperanto, Korvedoj. Crow. What is the word for crow? Do you remember? Remember they carve pumpkins. Korvo. The word for raven, well, it's a big crow. It's the biggest. So that would be korako, granda, corvo. Carrion crow has an N in it, korniko. It's also the nigra corvo, korniko. What about chough? Fire, smoke. What do we remember about the chough? They're fire red. What's the word for them? Pirokorako, pyromaniac. They're the fire raven. Rook. If we have to inexpensively replace part of our chess set, frugilego. Frugal way is with a Lego piece. Next, jackdaw. Daw. He's so tiny and cute. It's the smallest of the crows. Jackdaw, jackpot, money, dough, monedo. Magpie. It's not a pig, but the word is pigo. Nutcracker, someone who fragments nuts, nucifrago. Finally, J. The most colorful of all of these people, so it would be the garolo or garolo. And if they're boring and talkative, garrulous. Garolo is J. So blua garolo is a blue jay. I don't know why I wanted to teach you about crows today, but it just seemed like a good cause. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.